EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Uptown Charlotte at rain-soaked Bank of America Stadium. Just a few moments ago, this building was shaking as the Carolina Panthers emerged from the tunnel here in Charlotte. They are ready to go as the Panthers are set to match up with the Denver Broncos. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. On first down, it's Darnold. He's got his tight end. It's Tommy Tremble. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. This defense for the Broncos, they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
And Darnold just beating the play clock. That'll be caught. It's Isabella. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
Darnold completes it. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
3 yards the gain there, second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. Well, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
McCaffrey will take this one in. Touchdown, Carolina. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
A good hold of these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. This fielded right at the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And now here's a carry heading left. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Check 26, check 26.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Now a handoff looking right. Room here to run. And he is finally going to be brought down, but not before he gets it to the Panthers' 17-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to, and he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line.
For a rookie first-rounder, he's made a huge impact on this defense, but that tells me that they had a plan for him when they drafted him. Just turn him loose, do what you do best, go get the quarterback.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. The last 2 plays, each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. A field goal try forthcoming now for the Broncos. From the left hash, this from 34. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So they'll come away with nothing here. A disappointing result even on a day like this.
And as a kicker in the rain, you've got to slow things down a little bit. Give your holder an extra half second to make sure everything's secure. And here, he might have rushed this one a little, and it winds up no good.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They're sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
On 1st and 10, Darnold. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. Not much there, only a yard.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Darnold on 1st down. And that's incomplete. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Darnold. That's complete out right to the tight end, Trimble. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. And they'll get this down to the 10.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Another run, this time McCaffrey. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Christian McCaffrey, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. Gonzalez able to tackle on the PAT. And that'll make the score 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense. Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. And that is incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And, Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are. But let's face it, partner, they can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first. A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone. Fire's the mic. Fire's the mic. I got it.
A first down throw, Darnold. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Darnold now to throw. And the Broncos get there and take him down. The sack there by Bradley Chubb. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
After the sack on first down, Darnold. And that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on first down. Then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback, because that was awfully close.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Under 10, 10. Shift. Check nickel. Ready? Watch out.
Now Darnold. Throw left side, complete to Isabella. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 26.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on third down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands. They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Mark 5. He's tired of me. He's tired of us. Lady. Five's the mic. I got you, Pop. Mike 5.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Darnold. And he comes back with one complete. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Back to throw, Darnold. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here at half number 1. Gonzalez's kick is good, and the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them. Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue, because you know after the sack there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they really won't have much time to work with, just 19 seconds showing on the clock. So they go play action here. Mon. Pressure comes, and down he goes. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Quite a ways here, facing 2nd and 19. Another try after the first down sack. Mon. Under pressure, they got him again. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This is Fant. Oh, what a catch. And he's out right at the 25. Despite a pickup of 16, they're still well short of the sticks on 4th. The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This taken in at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Called it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. Off the play fake, Mond. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch, I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams.
A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed. A big play there for Carolina. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. To throw is Darnold. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. And Isabella, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and the lead is now 24. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. But the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Mond now off of play action. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. Taken in at the 22. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A big play that time through the air. 39 yards. Darnold from the red zone now. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. He'll wind up losing 3 there on the sack. Good pressure, and it's second down. Draw play, Darnold giving to McCaffrey. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. And this is going to be incomplete.
Tight defense there on 3rd down, but what a product of good coaching and even better execution, because he realized he's in field goal range. No sense forcing anything, and he made sure he didn't.
Gonzalez's kick is good. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. So little by little, the better of these two sides starting to become more and more apparent.
3 points is not a knockout blow in the 3rd quarter, but when the other guys haven't shown they can do anything, they don't have any points, this is looking pretty good. Maybe not a knockout blow, but a good stiff jab, that's for sure.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And he'll give it here to his running back. Jeremy Chin there defensively.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. And they give this time to the tailback. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here's Mond. They're going for it. That's to his running back, complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Jerry Judy, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter. No problem there on the extra point. And the lead now down to 20. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And it looks like the Panthers' hands team does its job. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
On first down, Darnold. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
When you see a quarterback retreating away from the line of scrimmage toward the other goal line like that, usually doesn't end well.
You're exactly right about that. Normally, if they're moving from side to side, they've got a chance maybe to get back upfield. He was trying to shake defenders and extend the play, but it doesn't work out very well for them at all. You need those extra yards on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Now you're digging a hole for your offense.
Trying to lay one up deep. He's got a man complete. And he'll go out of bounds finally at the 7. A big play there for Carolina. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a third time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Moore. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And no hesitation about this decision here. Confidently, they're going to go for this. 4th and goal from the 3.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins home. Check. Crunch.
Here we go with McCaffrey. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. They gave it to him in search of his 3rd touchdown, but he's denied. And the Bronco defense comes up big. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
And their 4-game win streak very much in jeopardy as they go to work here late with a 1st and 10. Here's Mon. That one a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here's 2nd and 10. Back to the air, Mon. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
The Broncos on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Bond going to throw it. Flushed out right. He's got room to run past the 20. And he's going to get this all the way up to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, here's Mon. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Mon. That is taken in by the tight end Fan. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 44-yard line. Mon looks to throw. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Brian Burns in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Now on 2nd and 16, Mon. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 29-yard line. Now a timeout called for by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. He'll look to throw. He's going to take a shot for the end zone.
And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on.
To throw again on 2nd down. Mon. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Out of the shotgun. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
I'll tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw.
They're looking for Judy, but it's intercepted. Jeremy Chin picks it off. And the Panthers are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
And Darnold wants to throw the football. He sets to fire deep. And that is incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some 1st downs, just as good as running the football. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
can't, man. He's not going to get me.
Here's Darnold. And this one is incomplete.
After what they faced during this game where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
22, eyes on 22. Single, man, 80. Single. Five's the mic. Five's the mic. I'm on. Mike 5. Mike 5. I got you, boy. Mike 5.
Throwing again is Darnold. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Touchdown, Carolina! A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Panthers are looking to run it to 5-1 on the season as they add to their fourth quarter lead. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. So the extra point good, and the roughing call going to move the ball out to the 50 for the kickoff.
And I think this is a good chance to pin them deep if you can land the kickoff inside the 5-yard line or so. Gain some field position for your defense.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the left. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. And one of the whistles for timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Another try after the first down sack. Mond. He's going to let it fly. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Jeremy Chin picks it off. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. Instead of running, Darnold's going to throw this thing. Escaping the pressure right. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end. But now this game is over. So this one is over. A victory for Carolina. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the one touchdown. And that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done now. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This is the type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So for Carolina, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye.